As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes.
I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, my opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe the opportunity today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument that allows you to have maybe uncorrelated, non-correlated type of returns.
In a recent interview with Squawk on the Street, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink discussed several things, including the state of cryptocurrencies and his firm belief in Bitcoin. Larry Fink disclosed that he used to be a skeptic, but after studying Bitcoin, he changed his opinion. Bitcoin has potential and legitimacy as a financial instrument and offers uncorrelated returns, meaning its performance isn't tied to traditional assets. He sees it as a hedge against countries debasing their currency through excess deficits. Some countries are doing this, and Bitcoin provides an opportunity to invest outside their control. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink affirms that Bitcoin has a role in investment portfolios and will soon become a recognized asset class. Bitcoin is a digital gold, a safe haven asset for those seeking financial control. It's not an instrument for hope, but a vehicle for expressing financial acumen in uncertain times. He remains optimistic about Bitcoin's potential, but doesn't see it as a way to make a quick profit. Instead, it's a way to protect oneself from financial uncertainty. Watch clips from the interview to listen to what Larry Fink says. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more content. Enjoy the video.
As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes.
I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, my opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe the opportunity today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument that allows you to have maybe uncorrelated, non-correlated type of returns. I believe it is an instrument that you invest in when you're more frightened, though. It is an instrument when you believe that countries are debasing their currency, debasing their currency by excess deficits, and some countries are. I believe we have countries where you're frightened of your everyday existence, and if you have an opportunity to invest in something that is outside your country's control, then you can have more financial control. And so I'm a major believer that there is a role for Bitcoin in portfolios. I believe you're going to see that as one of the asset classes that we all look at. I look at it as digital gold, as I said before, and I do believe there's a real need for everyone to look at it as one alternative to, I would say, the optimism that I have in the world. If you want to hedge hope, Bitcoin is not an instrument for hope unless you're hopeful you're going to make a lot of money on it. But I look at it as a vehicle in which you're expressing your financial acumen in something that you're more frightened of the world, you're more frightened of your existence. And I believe there's a great industrial use for it. And I think a lot of people are missing that.
In essence, Larry Fink believes that Bitcoin is a legitimate financial instrument that offers a new way to think about investing and financial control. It is not tied to traditional assets, and its performance is uncorrelated. According to the BlackRock CEO, Bitcoin also has a place in investment portfolios and will continue to grow in importance. Meanwhile, in a recent interview with Natalie Brunell, renowned author and Bitcoin enthusiast Jeff Booth talked about Bitcoin as an alternative to fiat money and its usefulness in real estate and the global economy. Jeff Booth dislikes when people talk about costs in terms of fiat money. Instead of letting the free market determine where value is allocated, it supports a system built on stealing value from other people. This keeps up a bad system that worsens people's lives. Because Bitcoin links to almost every element of life and challenges the established quo, it is a game changer. Jeff believes we shouldn't be afraid of this deflation because it indicates that production is rising and enabling us to live fulfilling lives and pursue our interests. Anything that halts this deflation is a control system, not an economic or political one. Jeff believes that everything else becomes a derivative of this truth when you grasp that deflation is the inherent state of the free market. Political systems are disputes over who benefits from the thievery that underpins the current system. The only protocol that can keep us safe from this theft is Bitcoin. It is an open, safe, decentralized protocol with energy constraints rather than a currency. It continues to advance regardless of whether you price it in money or through twisted paper. Because Bitcoin is the only free market force, all other prices are falling and always will. According to Jeff Booth, because it is built on manipulated money that depreciates due to inflation, the current system is inherently defective. People then start looking for other valuable stores, such as homes. The financialization of assets, meanwhile, poses a challenge. This financialization is influenced by large amounts of money and government action as well. Their desire to hoard riches in assets raises prices even further. This starts a vicious cycle in which assets are reduced to being just value warehouses, rather than being used for their intended function. Although financialization has caused asset prices to rise, they are declining compared to Bitcoin. Assets will eventually revert to their practical value in a free market. Let's go back to the interview and watch more clips to gain insights from Jeff Booth.
And that deflation shouldn't be feared, because what it actually is the productivity flowing to us so that we can live abundant lives and do what we want. So that's the natural state of the market. And that means anything that stops that, not from zero inflation, but from the implied rate of deflation, which would today be probably -5 or -6%, anything that stops that is not an economic system. It's not a political system. It's a control system that gains its strength from stealing from you. And so once you understand that that is true, and I haven't found one person to debate me on that, the natural state of a free market is deflation. So once that you know that that is true, then as a derivative, everything else from the existing system is stealing from you. The political system, as we get locked into who's better at stealing from you, that's really what you're arguing. Who gets the benefits of this theft that comes from you in the end? And so Bitcoin stands as the only thing that I've found that I've been able to that can protect you from that. And it stands, and it's that because it's not a coin. It's a protocol bounded by energy. It's an open, decentralized, and secure protocol bounded by energy. And it doesn't care if you want to price it through currency or through pieces of paper that are being manipulated. It doesn't care. It just keeps on moving forward. So relative to Bitcoin, all prices are falling and will forever, because it's the only free market force that is in existence, and everything tethered to the other system is not. It's a control system. They will versus the existing system of debasement. In fact, the home itself is a part of that, because you can't store your money in the bank because it loses value, because the real rate of return is less than the inflation rate. So it's a part of the construct that other things have to create value. So now you take now you take bigger leverage against a home, and that pushes up house prices because you're trying to store your wealth in a home. And that removes a home from a utility, which it was 100 years ago when families lived in their homes, neighborhoods were close, and it moves it away from that. And it's a store of value against, and as that breaks, and the same thing that breaks it was a government intervention to actually create that problem in the first place, because of manipulated money, and more people see the assets as a store of value, then big money gets involved as well to be able to store their wealth in those assets, and it doesn't become a home anymore. It becomes a store of value. And so the very thing that is that financialization of things, to be able to find other things to store your value in, is a result of money losing value. And we've lived in, so if you're measuring Bitcoin from a system that has gained all of its wealth, and actually I would even say gained its wealth, protected its wealth from financialization of assets, including stock market, and if you're on top of that, and you've seen financialization, and you think financialization is the free market, then you're likely to see Bitcoin and see, how do I financialize more things and prices that keep going up? And most of our economy, or a lot of the majority, is now financialization. And but all of those things, and I can just do a simple equation. And in Bitcoin, in my house was $1.4 million 4 years ago. It's now $2.1 million in fiat pieces of paper. But relative to Bitcoin, it was 300 Bitcoin 4 years ago, and now it's at today's price, 26 Bitcoin. In 4 years, my house will be worth 2 Bitcoin. And so if you want to take your Bitcoin to buy a house because you want the house now, that makes sense, but realize you're overpaying because of the financialization for the house, because the house relative to Bitcoin is falling to its utility value, like all things will in the free market.
As we conclude, what are your thoughts on the Larry Fink interview? Do you believe Bitcoin is a perfect financial investment and solves deflation and real estate problems? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below, share this video, and hit your thumbs on the like button. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.